Hello, Al Pals. Welcome to Big Al Presents Film with Friends. And tonight, the film is the 1962 American version of King Kong versus Godzilla, or 1963, or whatever. It was done in 62, came out in America in 63. However you want to think about it. But that is the film. And tonight, the friend is Wolf 10 Media. Let's welcome him, Wolfie, also the Wolf Commander. How you doing tonight, Wolfie?
Same as every night.
Trying to take over the world?
You missed it. It's the roar of Godzilla in the background. I think he's stepping around my neck of the woods. But yeah.
I couldn't hear it. Sorry.
I should have turned my stereo up a bit more. My mic could carry like so much background noise. I thought I was straight, but
well, that's right. People will hear when I have a cricket.
Oh, nice.
Which is odd. I mean, because he's chirping and I can hear him all the time. I'm used to it, but I don't think I have any tonight. But for those of you who are in the chat, this is where I would also introduce Troy and Annette, the Pacellis, the wonderful beings from Netter's Network and Cartan, the Cleon Cleric. Unfortunately, they cannot join us tonight. Troy is feeling ill. Not quite sure how much, but Nanette, being the absolute guardian angel she is looking over him and just wants to make sure he's fine. He's a little shaky. Just say a prayer for him. Hopefully everything will be fine. But we will soldier on. But definitely, please keep them in your thoughts. And don't want to start out on a downer, but this is the first time. I think this is the first time in a long time that I haven't had Troy and Annette being part of my rewatch. So
Pacelli should be fine. He's got Netter.
Yeah, he's got Netter. I mean, let's face it. The man, rolled boxcars when he got her. He rolled a 7. Whatever's good when you roll in craps, he rolled a good one. So yeah, he got himself a fine woman, a wonderful mate, a wonderful friend, and we all should be so lucky. I'm sure you're that lucky. I personally don't know, but I'm not. So, but
she's homely, but she does have a fury that I admire.
Are you talking about your wife?
Yes.
Woo.
But yeah, whenever time I get sick, she's on the warpath. She makes sure I get well.
Oh,
she does her best.
I tell you, that's what you want. I mean, it's good to have people looking out for you. And like I said, Troy, I am sure Troy will be fine just by the sheer will of Nanette's nursing. Nanette's nursing. That could be another channel if she ever wants to do that. Health tips with Nurse Nanette. But I said, we'll soldier on. Got the Wolf Commander here. Little background: King Kong versus Godzilla. A lot of people know about it. They know it's one of the things. It was only the third Godzilla film released and the third Kong film released, if you count Son of Kong as a Kong film. But this does not at all any way really, of course, deal with those films, because the original King Kong died, unless, the 76 King Kong didn't, but that's a whole other ball of fur and apiness.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know the
believe it
movie
or
I'm
not,
talking about.
believe it or not, that's my gateway to King Kong, the
Oh,
'76
the
version.
76 one with Jessica Lange. Yeah, it was, I
Yeah.
mean, I remember when I saw it, I was what, 11, 10, 11, and it was really cool. Looking back, oh my God, it was so bad. I mean,
hmm
a lot of it, the effects were bad. I mean, come on. And then, of course,
I
but
mean,
it did really well, and then they had King Kong Lives, the
which was
sequel with,
worse.
which was, oh God, it was so worse. But it did have Linda Hamilton in it, so that was some selling point. But I enjoyed it. But
She tends to fade in the background for me, sadly.
really, I like Linda Hamilton. Well, ever
Like I,
yeah, ever well,
whenever time I check a
Terminator.
review, whenever time I check a review of that, and they mention Linda Hamilton, I'm like, Linda Hamilton was in there.
Yeah,
I
well,
did not.
it's Kong's movie, but anytime you put a big eight, it's hard
Yeah,
to miss. Um, but yeah, just this, like most films, kind of start. The best parts of the film, of course, are you know ape versus lizard, and
yeah,
you have to sit through the human story, and even the new ones are the same way. Now, I will say, of course, we're watching this because Godzilla versus Kong, the new from the legendary MonsterVerse, comes out. It's actually out internationally. But comes out in America next Wednesday on HBO Max and in certain theaters.
yeah.
And
I'm hoping to catch that one
really
before
looking,
they remove
really
it
looking.
quickly.
I will say I'm really looking forward to see it, especially after I saw the fight scene today on YouTube before it got taken down. I'm sure, but I have
They've
seen
been leaking a lot of things. I've seen a
a lot
certain
of.
something pop up.
I've seen some stuff. I've seen things. I've seen some things. It's been it's pretty cool looking. I will say that it was definitely something to behold. I'm looking forward to the whole thing. I have read the full plot. I know what happens. I'm okay with it. We'll see. It all depends on your viewpoint. Let's
Well,
welcome everyone
um,
in the chat. Oh, okay. Oh, no,
go,
you had something? No, go ahead. Go ahead. If you
oh,
had,
oh yeah. Well, I was gonna say, well, you're Al. We know you're the
I don't mind.
optimist out of all of them, and
Yeah,
I'm a mix between Troy, Professor, and Fan Man. So
yeah. I
there's a
am
trinity
definitely on the lighter side of the seesaw. So, so yeah, I'm definitely on far I am. I am much more optimistic. I just want to be entertained. I want it to be a good film. What I've read, nothing deters me from that. But, I'll say I'm sure somebody will have something bad to say. I'm sure whatever, but that's all right. But
You guys,
let's welcome our Al pals that we have tonight. First name I see in the chat was Miss Evelyn Hampton. Got first place tonight. Welcome. Thank you for being number one. Melissa Harris, welcome in. And for those who are wondering, I posted a link to the YouTube version of the film, uh, which is which is available. If you just type in full movie, it'll pop up. It's like the first one.
is
Um,
on the Facebook group.
I put it. Yeah, it's on the link on the Facebook group. It's also on the link on the YouTube group, and I also tweeted it. I retweeted my original um, announcement, and I retweeted it. And I put the link in the comment of the retweet. So it's out there. No reason not to watch it if you want to watch it. That is. Of course, Netter's here in spirit. I am sure. We are going to miss you, but like I said, we're just hoping the big guy gets better. Sir Torin Clegane, welcome, sir. Samuel Proctor. Hold on, that's no wolf. That's a dinosaur. That's making fun of your avatar. I like doing the movie avatars. I used to do just something based on
Mm.
my Bitmoji, but I kind of like doing the movie thing, and I had to go Kong. I always go furry.
I was not sure which one I was gonna pick because I wanted to see which one you would pick, so we won't crisscross each other or make duplicates. And then
Yeah.
I pop into the stream. Oh, he's Kong. Okay, then I'll be Godzilla already. Cause
I say
I,
that's a sweet Godzilla pick there.
I was trying to go for the legendary version, but they couldn't. I couldn't find one that I could crop up that would make it look pixelated or anything.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that one.
I think this is the one that actually does pop up in King Kong
and
versus
this one,
Godzilla.
yeah,
Yeah.
he looks it. He definitely has. He's not. Well, we'll talk about that when
Yeah.
we start the film. Got to fill in those human story things. Let's see who else we got. Like I said, Samuel Proctor's here. Daniel Herron into house. 1 star. Save the Snyderverse. Yeah, right. Oh God, I hate that they're what they're doing. I'll bring that up too. Janice Zeal in the house. How you doing? Cora Wolfie. I got Samuel Proctor. I'm trying to see if anybody else is new in town. I think I've gotten everybody, so I think we are caught up. Yes. Okay. For those who are going to watch the film, and are you watching on YouTube or do you have a copy or?
I have both. Like since you already put in the link, I went for the YouTube option then.
Yeah.
So we can be on the same page, and hopefully my copy. Yeah, I was wondering my copy is probably going to supersede yours, so I think it's best that we watch the same thing from the YouTube thing.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a little ahead, or you have those things. We had, of course, we had on soundtracks of Birdman that night. Me and Agent Boomer had the additional scenes in Conan the Barbarian, and it was Daniel Hare was finished like 10 minutes before we were. It was pretty funny because it's all at the end. It's all at the end where all the new stuff was.
Yeah, but the same thing happened to me with Owen Lister when we did Guyver 2 Dark Hero. He had the Blu-ray, which was the director's cut, and the copy I had that I received through less savory means, as I like to call it, was basically I guess it was a theatrical release
on the high.
And he was just So like I was like super ahead of him every single time because there was extra scenes in the original, and I was hoping to get the director's cut.
And
it's never available.
I remember when we did when I did Forbidden Planet. And my copy was slightly faster. It was like ticked up a notch. I mean, it was totally, it's watchable and you don't notice it. But when you get synced up and then like 10 minutes later, you're like a good 10 to 15 seconds ahead. It was like one of those things. So I had to keep like stopping and letting everybody catch up. Basically what I've got, I believe I downloaded the YouTube version. I just did a YouTube download, and so I've got that version. I'll be watching, and I'm starting at the 5-second mark. So I've got produced by Toho Corporate Company Limited on it. So yeah, so you get in 5 seconds just as the Toho thing starts. That's where we're going to start. I'm seeing anybody else come in. No, like I said, I'm not expecting. Like I said, I'm just so glad that my pals are here. It's like I said, keep thoughts and prayers.
Speaking on that, I'm still glad that you invite me over because like I said in the green room, I'm usually the proponent of always trying to read probabilities at times, and I'm like. And I was just sitting here saying, "Oh, I'm glad I invited Wolfie."
I am. It was one of those things where, like, I always have. It's happened before where I've lost someone like on a rewatch. I think it was for Wolfman. It was going to be. It was originally going to be me and Fan Man on Fan Man's channel, and Fan Man couldn't do it, so he actually asked me to do the film. And Professor Geek was going to do it, but then Professor Geek couldn't do it at the last minute. And God bless him, Troy stepped in at the last minute. So we watched the 2010 Wolfman together. But because it's nice to have someone to like bounce off of. You just don't want to hear me ramble on for like an hour and a half about the movie
It's
watching.
a
Although could be fun.
it's a new move that I started to implement in the WCR now. I've started to have people in my corner because last year it was just me going on,
Yeah.
and I'm just glad that I actually did that because I don't want myself just fumbling around until I finally start kicking up my groove rather than I have people with me to bounce off of now. So
Yeah, it just it makes a whole different thing. I try to stop by and at least post a couple things. And like I said, you were doing like favorite male characters the other day, so I like wrote down. I just like here's my favorite ones, and just I
oh,
stayed on for a
we
little
caught
bit.
that.
Yeah, I stayed on for a little bit, but then I had to get time of day. That's like when I kind of have to do some stuff. So it's
Yeah,
like
and
dinner
last Thursday
dinner time.
we get an unexpected visit from Green Lion Girl, and she stayed as long as she did too. I was like, I'm surprised she stayed as long as she did. It's
Oh,
just
that's
us
awesome.
going on tirade sometimes.
Yep. Okay, well okay. We're about 15 past the hour. It's time to get this film rolling. Like I said, if you don't have a copy, it is on YouTube, which is the version I'm watching. Except I've got an MP4 of it. We're 5 seconds in, so are you ready to roll and start talking
Ladies and gentlemen,
about the big fuzzy
boys and
guy and the
girls,
big green guy? Oh,
let's get
you know
ready
what?
to combo.
I will have to do a little thing. Are you a wrestling fan at all?
What?
Wrestling fan, like
Used to
WWE?
be.
Well, you know Road Dog, right?
Oh no, I don't
Road
know
Dog.
every wrestler there is.
Well, it was like Road Dog and Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws, part of DX. I don't know if you.
I was more of an Undertaker fan than Ultimate Warrior
Okay.
and Hulk Hogan. So
Well,
I
I'm
was,
just saying, Road Dog had a heart attack today, so God bless
oh
him.
no.
Yeah, he is having last I heard he was having tests, but I was like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. He always kind of started. What about you? I forget how the rest of it goes, but he was great on the mic. Okay, let's roll the film and.
All right then.
In 3, 2, 1, start. Da, da, da. John Beck presents. Yeah, they like they basically did with the other two films. When the Americans got this, they just rewrote the whole bloody thing and threw some Americans in there and created
Yeah, that's
a whole different movie. But it's still thematically the same, basically. And there's just some extra scenes I think in the Japanese version. I'm not full up on the Japanese version. I will say that. But and everyone says there was a different ending. The ending's really not any different. It's just a little bit of it's just what the American guy says at the end. It kind of alludes to an outcome, but there really is. It's basically a draw. I mean, you can't kill one or the other.
yeah. At that point, you might as well rule it as a draw. That whole debacle was so poorly handled that it got to a point where the Japanese were just okay with Kong winning. I think
Yeah.
they commissioned the ending to have it in Kong's favor. I think the Japanese are always open for seeing their characters being defeated by
Well,
other outside forces.
Godzilla was always an allegory for America. The
Yeah,
he was Godzilla was the technological terror, and sadly, the YouTube version is kind of squished. If you notice, it's a little on the squish side.
yeah,
But it's 1962. It's on YouTube. That's probably the only way they got to keep it on YouTube. Uh, it just isn't really easy to find. Basically, I mean, this is kind of what you get.
I still have my DVD copy though
Yeah.
that we bought for $5 in the bargain bin.
I love I love the 50s and 60s space stations.
It reminds me of Tom and Jerry. Remember that one episode where the space station is
Uh,
just like that Russian roulette
the
circle.
roulette wheel.
Yeah,
I don't really. No, I probably would remember if I saw it.
yeah, it was an episode where it was just a roulette wheel, and and like it ended with Tom having to patch up the space station up because he blew holes in it.
Yeah. I always like when I watch this, I always kind of get flashbacks to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
and like a lot of it's like broadcasts at the beginning, that '60s broadcast. Although
yeah.
that was '70s. And of course, if people remember Godzilla's history at this point, the first Godzilla technically is dead,
Hmm.
laying at the bottom of Tokyo Bay. There was a second one that was, I think, originally called
Yeah,
Gigantus the Fire Monster. And it was basically in America, it also then became Godzilla Raids again, where he's
yeah.
fighting Anguirus the entire time.
Or
Uh,
Angulus, depending on how fancy you
Anguirus.
want to take his name.
Yeah, they kind of changed his name around a little bit. Um, but in that one, he gets frozen in a glacier, basically.
Yeah. It's ambrosia in his hand.
Yeah.
You gotta love the movies back in the day. They always talk about their drugs and their alcohol and their cigarettes.
Yeah. They always have something like these special berries or something only grown on this one island.
People will
I
take
was
this
reading.
and use it as a symbol of
I,
communism or capitalism going bad.
yeah, well, I mean, let's face it. This whole film, I mean, it's about a pharmaceutical company that wants a big seller, a selling symbol. That's why they kidnapped Kong.
Right.
But of course, things go awry. But you know, think about the fruit. I was reading an article yesterday about some medieval fruit that you can only eat when it's rotted.
Hmm.
It's called medlar. Medlar. It's actually making a comeback. They make jellies and jams out of it. I thought I was like, man, I'd
Interesting.
like to try that because I like trying weird things like that. If I want to get a jar of it on eBay, it's like 30 some dollars because of it's hard to get because of all the COVID shipping stuff.
Sarah Prata asks, is this the first color film of both franchises?
Yes. This is the first time we see Godzilla and Kong in color.
Yep.
This was the first Toho Godzilla film that they colorized because Godzilla raids again, and the original were of course black and white. I gotta watch the original Godzilla one day. I almost watched it this
Which one? Which version?
uh, the American version.
Oh,
I
that's
like,
King of the
but I
Monsters
mean,
then.
yeah, Godzilla King of the Monsters, but Gojira would be a fun one too. But I hate reading during a movie. I'm sure
I
there's a
had no
sure
problem
there's a
actually. I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum. I don't mind reading. I actually
I
had the pleasure of watching on
mean
TCM.
I will, and I have watched it. But there, to me, like I said, the one with Raymond Burr, it's the one I grew up
Yeah.
with. You know, that's the one I know. It's
Funny
the one
enough,
that
that's my gateway to Godzilla.
it was my gateway. I mean, that was my gateway drug to monsters. Him,
Oh no, it's Son of Godzilla. That was my gateway.
so is that the one with the stupid kid? No,
I mean, yeah,
that's
yeah. No, that's Godzilla's Revenge.
yeah. God, I
Godzilla's
hate that.
Revenge.
That is the one Godzilla film that makes me cringe.
I think
Godzilla's
everybody all
Revenge.
agrees with that.
With that stupid, freaky little kid. I hate that kid. I really do.
Godzilla says we must stand up and face our enemies head on.
And that's like with the big weird like cat thing called Gamera.
Yeah.
Which
He's
actually,
supposed
I
to be
mean, there's actually some cool
annoying.
fights in it. But they've got to do a director's cut where you just cut all the kid out, just have Godzilla and his son.
Fun fact: there's a YouTuber. I think his name is called Big Action. Does a bit goes in bit in depth of the behind the scenes to almost every Godzilla movie there is. He has his own reviews of Godzilla. He actually has an hour long extensive documentary of the of Gojira. And
Oh,
recently,
cool.
he did a breakdown of King Kong versus Godzilla.
Sarah Parker said the YouTube version has ads. I did not know that. It
It's
didn't
not
say
working on me.
anything. It didn't say anything when I was looking at it. Just was on there. Like I said, there may be more than one version, or
Hmm.
it could be if you don't. That's if I have an ad blocker too, so that would help. But like I said, I downloaded it, so
Right.
I love those
It's a,
old like I love the micro like because I've got the little headphones with the microphone on it. I like them big old microphones like back in the
oh
old days.
yeah,
I keep looking
yeah,
because I want to get a new set. I want to get like the over the ear ones because I'm tired of Professor telling me to turn down my headphones when we're doing the book study. I'm like, darn it, because I just have the little foamy ones, but I want the full ear, but I want like the big foam ball to try to cut down
right.
on the stuff when I do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big
Fun
fat
fact:
guy.
it's
I
like,
make sounds. I'm sorry, it
yeah, I
happens.
know. The thing is, I'm like, sometimes when you go silent, I'm like, somebody pull Al string, he ain't talking. I'm like, did Al fall asleep? When I start
Um,
hearing you breathe, I'm like, is
I
Al
will
sleeping?
say I will say I have before a couple of times, and Professor muted me. But I never stayed asleep. I always like it's always like, oh, like wake when you hear that little snort.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I will say one time I did it, and I thought to myself, I know everybody thought I was asleep, but I was actually did it because I was drinking something, and it just was kind of weird.
Hmm.
Oh
Sometimes it.
no,
Oh yeah,
the submarine. And of course, what are the odds of them bashing right into Godzilla's iceberg?
convenient.
Of all the icebergs in all the sea, you had to bump into mine. But there is continuity to it. I mean, he was buried, although he wasn't
Yeah,
in an iceberg. I mean, he was on land when they buried him in Godzilla
right.
Raids Again.
Yeah, that did happen. Melissa Harris asks, Godzilla's kids, or are they a species? It's a given to how Godzilla breeds. He just
Really, it kind of depends on. There's several different variations on it. Some say Godzilla is a single odd mutation. But then you have little baby Godzilla. In fact, I think baby Godzilla just kind of showed up one day and Godzilla
hmm
kind of adopted him. I don't think he
yeah.
was I don't think he was actually Godzilla's biological kid, or they never verified that.
It's kind of like the what's that bird that lays its eggs in other birds' nests?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I forget what they're called.
Kind of that effect. At least he's not like 98 Godzilla,
Ugh.
where he reproduces asexually. That's not how
I
science.
mean,
That's not how biology works, guys.
well, I will say this: with Godzilla being a creature of a mutated and radioactive and all this other crap. Who knows what's going on in there?
We don't have to explain it. It's science, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
sometimes you just go, it's a movie, accept it.
Hmm.
Just like but like all those 50s, so it's like, Well, with all the nuclear experiments in the desert, that's why you got giant ants running around in them. You just accept the fact that there are giant
Okay,
ants.
I'm gonna assume this. If Ma Pacelli was here and she saw all that muck in the water, she's like, "What were they carrying? Sewage?" I'm assuming she would have asked that, but she could
Oil.
correct me in the chat.
Could be oil.
Yeah, and there he is.
Go, go, Godzilla. Now, I will say, I do like the original Godzilla designs.
Yeah,
Before, you know how he got like the big googly baby deer eyes eventually? You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Like the late
So
60s,
you
early 70s
so
Godzillas.
you like the Showa version of Godzilla?
Um, See,
Because that was the Godzilla that was from Gojira all the way up to versus Smog Monster or Hedorah,
Hedora, yeah, which was on last night. Actually, I didn't watch it because I was streaming, but
right?
yeah, I like original. My favorite is the 1954 Gojira, the original
Right.
OG, original Godzilla, the OG.
I'm always a big
Uh,
fan of Millennium, specifically 2000 Godzilla
Now I will
design.
say the Millennium Godzilla is a frightening ass Godzilla,
That was their intention, though. They were trying to go back
and he
to their
was.
roots, making them a force of
I mean,
nature.
oh, and it worked perfectly. I think my favorite Godzilla, as far as just being badass, was the one that's in Godzilla. I think it was Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, All Out Attack.
GMK.
Yeah,
That's
with Bear. It has Baragon in it.
did you catch that video that I shared on the Facebook group months ago about, with Baragon?
Yes, with the girl inside.
Yes, that was so
That was that
adorable.
was awesome. I loved
She was
Baragon, but she was so tiny.
so I'm like Baragon in that movie was played by a girl. Does that automatically make Baragon a female in this movie?
Why not?
I just go back to that video just to hear that rah rah. I like
But yeah,
somebody's having fun. Somebody's having fun on set.
Haru. What's that? Haru Nakajima?
I think her name was that.
No, but the guy in Godzilla suit, the
Oh
original,
yeah.
who
Nakajima was always
who played Godzilla longer than anybody. The
yeah.
true OG Godzilla.
Troy last night mentioned that he always wanted to play the suits. I said no, you don't. You do not want to play in these suits. I was gonna finish it, but Troy.
Yeah.
Sadly, you can't always get your word out. But I'm like, I'll tell him later. But you do not want to be in suits like this without ventilation, of course,
Oh yeah,
because those suits were heavy.
I remember. Yeah, you hear stories of Nakajima passing out,
Hmm.
and a lot of like in the original Godzilla film, when you see the feet crushing, it's basically him wearing the legs with suspenders, just crushing stuff because it was just so physically demanding to wear the full suit.
Hmm. Evan Hampton mentioned the submarine workers earlier. She was asking why they're wearing gloves.
So, who knows? Because the script,
And
because the costume designers said so. Hey, looks like
no more.
now. See,
Uh,
now that guy who's that freaky asking for his own monster, and nobody questions him on it. It's like, sure, let's go and find our own monster.
we just universally agree that this going to be handled by another monster. But where are we going
Yeah,
to find it? Sarah
but
Proctor says, so is this the same Godzilla universe as the first one? Because that one was killed by the oxygen bomb.
theoretically could be, but you could spin it that way. I mean, ultimately, they do acknowledge that the first Godzilla was killed, and that this was a second
Yeah.
Godzilla. And this one really, I don't know if I'm trying to think of like full out deaths. Godzilla, they almost always kill him by having, or quote unquote kill him by having him fall in the water. It's not going to kill Godzilla. He's used to that. He's just going home.
Yep.
Like Mothra versus Godzilla, which is one of my favorite fights.
Yeah.
It's like two worms, dude. Godzilla gets beaten up by two worms.
I had that when I was a kid. That will be American Godzilla from '98, Melissa. Not this version. Not Toho's version of Godzilla. He doesn't reproduce asexually.
It's kind of like spontaneously came into being. But there was, I think, the one version with the time travelers,
Oh
where
yeah,
they go back and try to stop Godzilla from becoming Godzilla.
yeah. You
And
talking
it's
about
just,
Godzilla versus King Ghidorah?
it could, yeah, I think so. And it's like this, it's just like little dinosaur thing.
Dorats. They're called Dorats.
Yeah, I have to go back. It's a film I've seen like 1.5 times,
Mm.
but I kind of got the idea. But I don't have all the
You want me to give
terminology
you the
down.
abridged version then?
You could. I mean, I know like I said, I know it was time travelers who went back to stop Godzilla from becoming Godzilla.
So what they were planning on was the fact that Godzilla was the disaster that just ended Tokyo in the future. So
Mm-hmm.
instead, they go back to a time period where there's actually a Godzillasaurus that was surviving throughout the ages that attacked the American military force that was fighting the Japanese during the near the end of World War II,
Mm-hmm.
nearing the end of World War II, and they end up swapping out that Godzillasaurus with the Dorats, and the nuclear testing that happened to create Godzilla end up creating King Ghidorah in that
King
regard.
Ghidorah, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do remember that.
and there's a lot of connotations to take from throughout that whole
Yeah,
movie.
that movie
Controversy.
that movie does get confusing. A lot of
It
the
does.
well, a lot of the Millennium one, like the newer ones, get really weird sometimes. I like the can never remember what it's called. The quote unquote last one.
Okay. Let me
Can't
think.
remember
Final
name.
Wars.
Yeah, Final Wars, when like basically like everything comes at him, and he's like he's like even like blowing stuff out from space.
Yep.
And the space
It's
guy just
basically
gets
Power Rangers
more
at
and
that
more.
point.
Yeah, I know. And the like little space guy gets more and more pissed at him. He's like, "Darn you, Godzilla!" He just
Yep.
wants his kid. That's all he wants. He wants his kid back.
No, what's funny was that once there was one scene with him, and it cracked me up so much because he throws one of his fits right, and he sees the heroes in the background. He turns to look at him. He's like, "Wait 1 minute, real quick," and he looks back at the screen. And he turns back to talk to him. He's like, that's like an inconvenience for him.
Yeah, it was funny.
I just
But
that's one of the biggest highlights with the humans I loved about that movie.
yeah, and then of course there's the one with Mecha Godzilla, and Mecha Godzilla was built around the skeleton of the original Godzilla
That
from
was
'54.
Tokyo SS.
Uh,
I think SOS.
SOS, yeah, Tokyo SOS. And then of course they hears Godzilla's roar, and it makes the skeleton go, "Wait a minute, something's up," and it like
It
wants
just
to
have
take
its
over its
own
room.
Evangelion moment.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, OG Godzilla sort of is in there." And then of
Um,
course the go was it in GMK,
yeah,
where
he's the
Godzilla,
spirit of
the
angry
spirit of all
Faust.
the angry people, all the angry soldiers who died in the war.
Yeah,
They really came up with some weird stuff during that period.
that shows some creativity on their part. The problem is that they couldn't figure a way to establish any continuity within the Millennium universe. They wanted to keep rewriting the beginning.
Hmm.
That's the only downside to the Millennium trilogy was the fact that they kept rewriting the beginning. They had a good start with 2000. They could have just
Hmm.
fall from there.
Yeah, I remember when 2000 came out because it was actually it was that's the one with the UFO, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Orga.
yeah, and because I remember that was like marketed really big in America when they released it.
Hmm.
And what shocked me is that my local theater actually got it. I was like,
Did you ever
yes,
watch? Did you ever watch Destroy versus Destroyer?
yeah, man, Destroyer's nasty.
Hmm.
Built off
That
the
thing
original
was created
Oxygen
by the
Destroyer.
oxygen machine. Yep.
Yeah, Sarazawa's Oxygen Destroyer.
Now become a monster.
And I like the fact they had the original, the actress in it from the original
Yeah.
made an appearance in that film.
Yeah. I think she
Haruki,
passed away.
yeah, I think she has since passed, but
Yeah. Excuse me.
okay, yeah, these guys are there trying to find a monster. They're gonna find one, big and furry.
I think this is your department, but Melissa has a question about black bugs and or thinks that they're carpet beetles, and she asks how do you get rid of them?
Uh, I well, always got black bugs. He thinks carpet beetles. I don't know. I just start spraying them with stuff and see what happens.
Yeah, that or strategically remove them and relocate them.
Uh, get a pair of tweezers and pick them out one by one. No,
If you're
no.
if
I
you're not
really,
if you're
I
not
really
in
don't
the
know.
business of killing an insect, I mean, because I know there's a lot of people that don't like to kill insects. They rather remove them and move them somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Maryland. We kill bugs all the time. They're called crabs. If we rip those suckers up good. But
I'm like, there's millions more of you. What's one that's not going to hurt the population?
it's Stephen King's It. He turns into Rodan. Yeah, I mean, in the book, he does turn into Rodan.
Yeah,
That's that is a film that does not get its proper due is the original Rodan, when it's
yeah, I've
just
seen it
Rodan.
actually.
That's an awesome movie.
Not just Rodans, two Rodans. It's got a mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Tragic
And
ending too.
it's so sad. I know it's like just like a lot of them, they kill off that monster, but then somehow they miraculously come back later.
Hmm. Fire Rodan was cool. Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, that was awesome when he melted down.
Melted down. That was in Destroyer.
Oh, that's right. That was Destroyer. Sorry, I was thinking of something else.
Yeah, Burn Godzilla was an interesting design.
I like how he's an expert and they're on TV and he brings out a freaking kid's book.
Yeah. You know something? Speaking of the book in question that he held up was a dinosaur book. I had a lot of dinosaur books when I was young.
Yeah.
I was very big into dinosaurs thanks to Jurassic Park and Land Before Time.
Oh, I do too. One of the fondest memories I have when I was in school, I went to Catholic school for 8 years, but we had a library. And those big picture books, like
Hmm.
World War II, dinosaurs, all kinds. Like some of them were like these huge, thick, heavy things. I loved those big, like
And my mom
two
picked up
foot
on
two
that
foot
so
books.
much. My mom picked up on that so much that she got a lot of dinosaur films for me. Even my grandma got me a lot of dinosaur films. Like there was this one British dinosaur related s- uh what you call those edutainment type films? called Dinosaurs Fun Fact and Fantasy, but it was the Americanized version, which means there was a lot trimmed down. And I looked it up on YouTube. In the full version, there was so much stuff that they cut out.
Uh,
But
I don't
it
remember
was a
that.
nice one though. It was a nice
Yeah.
edutainment show. Had a crocodile as a public crocodile being a host.
Uh, yeah, I remember they did like those dinosaur. It was the dinosaur shows back in the. I want to say 80s, but I know it was like more the 90s, like the late 90s. It was
Yeah.
an educational thing and with like CGI and
hmm
different kind of things going on.
And what's interesting was we had this conversation at work back before the flu had hit. They were talking about Jurassic Park and they were mentioning dinosaurs. I would just name them just nonstop, just name them, because I was looking
Mm-hmm.
them up. I was looking at them so much when I was a kid that I memorized
Yeah,
their name.
but I used to love little, like knowledge books just filled with knowledge. Like I love the remember little golden books they used to have.
Yes, we had those.
They had like stars and planets and like gems and
Oh,
gemstones.
We had the Disney Golden books like
Tons of
Aladdin.
them.
Um,
But like these were like little. They weren't like the kids. They weren't kids. They were like little pocket books,
right.
little small guides like to all the dinosaurs or tree like one with just trees. And there was like this whole bunch of them was like a series. I used to love those, but especially like the ones like with the stars, stars and planets, astronomy stuff.
Right.
Because I remember when Cosmos came out, the original with Carl Sagan, like
There was
astronomy
another
was real big.
there was another dinosaur movie that I looked at that I think was really the gateway to me liking dinosaurs a lot. And it was that one where they fired these cannons at these Styracosauruses.
Hmm.
I forgot the name. I keep forgetting the name of it. I happened upon it through a review. Oh wow.
Yeah, you don't want the thing around you, but you won't let it go.
That's probably me with a tarantula.
Yeah.
Like usually I would freeze if I seen one, but I wouldn't know how I would react if one ever got on me.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm not a big spider snake guy.
Yeah. I'm cool
I,
with snakes because my uncle had a boa constrictor at one point, which I touched. I even held a garter snake before.
I,
But
I,
you put
I don't, I don't like little feet running on me or things slithering, like
right.
mice or bugs or anything like that. Just freaks me. I guess I mean if I like
I have,
sit and I was anticipating it, but it's not like sneak attack that
yeah,
always gets me.
yeah. I had a rat climb up on me. It was kind of cute
I had to
and
get
tickly.
yeah. I had well initially we when I was in college, I was in a behavioral psychology class. And we had a rat, Panama Jack. It was his name, and
Oh, nice.
it was basically every there was a rat for every like lab pairing, and we had one, and like we started having a contest, like whose rat could press the thing most, and ours won. Panama Jack was the winner.
You lead interesting life, Al.
Yeah, and then my girlfriend for a time had a pet rat. Well, a little white. I think it was he a white? No, he was just a regular looking rat. Panama Jack was a white rat, little experimental rat, but she had a little rat. Can't remember
Hey,
what his name was.
no sneaking seconds, little boy.
An
Technical.
octopus. That's a real
Sorry, foul
octopus,
boy.
I
You
think.
don't get seconds.
That was a real octopus too.
Yeah, it was.
I think he
Um,
had a name. He had a name too. Let's see if I can find it. Because they always like to give them any monster a name.
right.
I want to say it was like something like Otako or Odaka.
Probably a name for octopus. The
All
effects
right.
here is pretty good,
Yeah.
all things considered.
I'll see.
So you
This is if, in honor of Troy, the Kraken has been released. That's for you, Troy. But that is cool because nothing really moves like an octopus except an octopus. Udako, that's his name.
Okay. Military asks, does
Udako.
Godzilla resurrect or regenerates? Both.
Yeah, it depends on the
In
movie.
many cases, movie yet both. Just like
Yeah, you never
legendary
see.
Godzilla.
Did you ever see Shin Godzilla?
Yes, and I have no flowery opinions about that. I mean, I still enjoy it, but it's
It
not my
was,
cup of tea.
yeah, it was like really. I mean,
I like the way how they went with Godzilla, but
this is the
it's
kind
not
of
my
thing.
favorite design of Godzilla.
But I think about it this way: like the big thing about this, everybody talks about the Snyderverse. They did this after they've gotten Godzilla right. So they can
Hmm.
get a little weird. It's like, okay, we're going to do something a little different. We just want to see how it turns out. And they created Shin Godzilla,
Yep.
who I will say has one of the freakiest tails, especially after,
The
you
ending,
know,
yeah.
the ending. But also his atomic breath is
Was
just frightening.
Yeah, that was Evangelion all the way. Like the whole, because I mentioned that because the director who worked on that was Hideki Ono, the writer for Neon Genesis Evangelion, the anime mecha.
All right.
So he's got a lot of his stuff injected. Even the music that came from Evangelion made its way into the movie too. You know when they're prepping to freeze Godzilla, and that boom 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 boom, that's from Evangelion. That song. I was
Oh,
like,
and I forgot to mention they had a moment when the octopus was attacking. The music that was playing
yeah,
is from Creature from the Black Lagoon.
oh wow,
They start like that little da da da. That's
yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon music. They actually use a bunch of music from other films and things.
Hey, there's no chick here. There's an octopus. Well, I'm hungry anyway, so let's go fight, buddy. They switch between real octopus and fake octopus.
Yeah, like that's fake.
Exactly.
Oh,
It
it
just
looks
latches on them.
cool.
Yeah. It's oh my gosh, you see the plastic wrap. You can see the plastic wrap.
Yeah, sploosh. You know, when you're cooking an octopus, that's a thing you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like beat it like a lot.
I think this scene was a bit longer than in the Japanese version
Yeah.
because he just picks him up, gets strangled a bit, throws him back, and now he started throwing rocks at him. Pretty sure there was a bigger struggle here. I could go back and watch it just to see.
Saber Proctor's like the King Kong suit makes me think of SpongeBob Gorilla. Yeah, it's not the best suit.
And stay out.
I will say, the other one they did, King Kong Escapes,
Yeah,
that Japan did. I love Mecha Kong.
yeah.
That's a cool design.
He's got this unique
And I love the face
70.
when he's drinking.
Look, 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 look. I hate to say it, but he does kind of resemble
Like
Troy a bit.
and the face is completely different.
Yeah.
Like between shots, I just think it's so cool. This film is still like number 12, the all-time audience attended film in Japanese movie history.
Oh, nice.
It was a monster hit. R R R.
Yep.
Still one of the all-time. It's
That'd
like
be a
saying,
good time for Troy to ask, "What are you sipping, Kong?"
yeah.
Drug dealers.
I'd like to see a look at Japan's box office adjusted and see where
Yeah.
it falls.
And then we have this whole dance sequence that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Bumblebee.
I'm surprised we haven't commented on the fact that they're spray tanned,
Oh, I know.
which I'm not bothered by it.
Yeah, they're not ugly. I will say the girls are not ugly.
Because I'm sure Troy would apologize for this. I'm like, no, Troy, don't apologize. This is not their fault.
Yeah, I would never
This,
apologize for a movie. I mean, we're watching a piece of cinematic history. It is what it is. Enjoy it.
and nobody
Learn
does
from
that
it.
with the intention of insulting another race,
No.
mind you. Unless you're talking about 1700s America, which they just didn't give two F's. Then
Those
then
are
we can
some
have that conversation. Oh
big
wow.
coconuts. Those are nice coconuts there.
Yeah.
Do
Uh,
Godzilla versus Frankenstein. Was there Godzilla versus Frankenstein?
well, here's the thing.
I know there's a Frankenstein
Originally
I know there
that
was
was
some.
originally what the title was. It was going to be Godzilla fighting Frankenstein, but no, actually no. It was going. I think it was going to be King Kong versus Frankenstein, but they at the last
Right,
minute changed it to Godzilla for this film, which we're gonna
right.
see
But
where
there
the
is a Godzilla, there is a Frankenstein Japanese film.
yeah, Frankenstein conquers the
Frankenstein
world,
conquers the world. Yeah, I
and
always
that's
kind of like that.
Baragon's first appearance.
I love some of the other kaiju films that aren't Godzilla related, like War of the
Gamera.
Gargantuas.
Oh, I love War of the Gargantuas.
Love War of the Gargantuas. That's an awesome film. And yeah, Gamera. I loved Gamera because I like turtles. Because
Yeah,
I'm a Marylander. The Terrapins. With
yeah.
the University of Maryland. But I always like turtles, and just to see this like flying turtle, it was awesome.
Friend to all the children.
Yeah, that's the one thing that always bugged me is when they take a monster and then make him a good guy, like Godzilla. They eventually kind of make him a protector. I like force of nature, destroy your city, Godzilla.
Yeah, they made him like that in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Up from the depths, 30 stories high, breeze fire, his head in the sky. Godzilla, 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 and Godzuki, of
Yeah,
course.
jeez, Godzuki.
Ooh, ow. Speaking of
Yeah,
98 Godzilla, did you ever know that they made an anime series around the 98 Godzilla?
I sure did. I used to watch it actually.
It's the best version.
It was 10 times better than the movie was.
Nigel! Ah! Me and my brother used to crack up when Nigel gets destroyed because he always had that deafening scream.
Yeah, that 98 Godzilla. I mean, it's an entertaining film mostly. But like it's like they say with um the Nolan Batman. It's not Batman. It's not Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jurassic Park. Because
I
half
was
the time they're running from
obsessed.
these basically they are like mutated velociraptors.
Yeah, I was obsessed with that version of Godzilla so much that I drew him so much on my sketch pad when I was a kid.
Zilla.
I released a YouTube vid about that. I looked through um my old sketchbook, and you can see it like I was a big fan of that movie, at the time when I was a kid because I kept drawing that Godzilla.
Yeah, definitely something they've brought into the new film, inspired by this. Oh, floating in on a barge.
Oh yeah. But I think the reason why my obsession grew is because of the animated series. That's the reason
Yeah,
why I kept drawing them so much
the
because
the animated series, I really say was well done. Um, my main problem with the '98 version was that Godzilla, the main creature, disappears for most of it. They should have just had it wipe it out New York.
yeah,
I mean, I know it's like a few years prior to 9/11 and all this other stuff, but Godzilla is a massive destroyer. He doesn't go underground and sit there. He wreaks absolute havoc, and like everyone leaves the city, so it's just like basically a hollow shell of a city that's basically still standing. I mean, I want destruction when you talk about Godzilla.
it's a good thing they rectified that in 2014.
Oh yeah,
And
2014.
I
That was a good version.
and I shake my head at those who watched it and just really give very very unfavorable reviews of it. I'm like, bruh, would you rather him running from the military like the '98 Godzilla? Would you rather him being taken out by the
By
military?
the
Like
military with a rocket. Oh come on, that's not Godzilla.
I'm like, bruh, it may
Godzilla.
not be the Godzilla that you like to watch from Japan, but it had the spirit of what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Japanese films had. It was a good start for the legendary series. Now,
definitely.
now you can make the argument that they pulled back Godzilla far too much, but there are times when you see the outward effects of Godzilla's presence everywhere. You don't always have to see Godzilla everywhere on the screen. Now, yes,
Yeah,
again,
he's a force in the film.
yeah, even
He
the
is he is
Mutos are a
he's
force.
a driving. Yeah, the creatures are a driving force in that film. There's some aspect of destruction. There's something they're finding related to the
There's the
kaiju.
aftermath.
Oh no! I always hate to see a good plate of food go to waste.
Me too.
I've been wanting some Chinese. I know this is Japan, but I've been wanting some Chinese food.
Yeah.
I want some sushi too. I have not had proper sushi, and I've had several people talking about sushi and showing sushi on my Facebook. It's like I want some proper sushi. I've never had it. I want to try it with someone who knows what they're doing.
Have you watched Cobra Kai yet?
Yes, loved Cobra Kai. Cannot
Remember that
wait.
sushi scene?
Um. Oh yeah, when he didn't know how to. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The stuff that they say about that show, it's so hilarious.
That show rocks.
That show does rock. I love it.
I can't wait till the next season. I can't wait till next season of Stranger Things. I know a lot of people didn't like season 3, but I
Yeah, I'm
liked
up
it.
and
I
down on
liked
that
it.
one.
I liked it more than a lot of other people did. Though I
Mhm.
did see. I do acknowledge that it had a lot of issues.
There's just some things that are too modern in that later season that I didn't like.
Mm. Well, I know a big thing. The professor hated Nancy and
I
her.
did too.
Yeah, she that was a bit overdone.
I'm like,
But I'm
what
still
year
saying
is this season taking place? Because I'm pretty sure she would not be having this big of a mouth in this kind of company.
that that whole season though was worth the never-ending story
Right.
song. I'm sorry, that
That was a
made
saving
that
grace.
season.
That
That
was
was
definitely a saving
awesome.
grace. I love it. I
See,
was like, I know.
I like a Godzilla like this.
Mm,
He's like, uh oh, because people are watching. They're always on watch out. He's coming out. Here's where he's heading. It's like a tornado or a hurricane, and they're broadcasting. You know, they're trying to keep an eye out, and he's just a force of nature walking along, destroying things. He's like, "Where am I at? What's this in my way? Kick it out of my way. Step on it."
Yeah. What you know something? What if that is exactly what the actor is saying while he's playing the role, and yet they're selling it as a creature just like really figuring out how to navigate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure if we were wearing the suits and like, okay, am I going this way? I can't see anything in this suit. Y'all give me some hand gestures or something.
It's like, just walk and crush it. It'll be fine.
Where? Which way? There are
Go
no
straight.
eye holes.
Go straight.
Go straight. Okay, go straight. I tripped.
Well, you see the little eye hole. Well, they're like 6 or so little holes in his neck.
Yeah, I
that he
know.
looks out of.
That they call gills.
Gills,
in
yeah.
the design. People were asking where are the holes in Godzilla's neck there. That's like, oh, those are his gills. That's how he breathes underwater.
Yeah, that's
Which
how
I
I
have to
can
say,
see these.
which I have to say, that is a unique design of gills. If you really want to implement that into the design, that's a unique design way of gills, like just 6 holes in the neck area.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody gonna wait for you. Keep up.
Melissa, if they get Hillary Swank on that show, I will really be impressed.
Me too. I'm waiting for that moment because I did like the next Karate Kid. I know people didn't really care for it, but I liked it.
Yeah. Imagine a black and white King Kong versus Godzilla movie with Willis O'Brien stop motion and the original Godzilla suit.
That would never happen
Yeah,
because that Kong is smaller.
Yeah, a lot of people forget how small Kong was in the American version, the first one.
Think about it like this: Godzilla is taller than the trees that Kong was navigating around. That's how big Godzilla compared to Universal Kong.
But Kong has grown in the new one. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely sized up from from Skull Island.
it's what John C. was saying, and he's going to get bigger. He's still growing.
Yep, he's still growing.
Did you like Kong Skull Island?
Yeah, I loved it. Thought it was great.
Everybody was like reacting to all the high death count in that movie, and when I went to the theater to see it.
Well, it's realistic. If you got a big monkey floating around or a big lizard, people are going to get hurt and die. It's going to happen. That's what would really happen. That's the one thing I didn't like about the '98 Godzilla. Hardly anybody died.
Only by the babies.
Yeah.
And somehow a building can still stand up regardless of a gaping hole in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
That right there.
We found out a few years later it's not exactly.
Yeah,
I like that look of I like that Godzilla look.
Yeah,
still looks fierce,
reptilian,
still monstrous. Doesn't have them big Bambi eyes yet. Doesn't look like he would like jump up and down happy and do a little jig or doing a drop kick. I love it. I'm sorry, it is silly, but Godzilla versus Megalon is an absolute pleasure to watch.
Yes,
with Jet Jaguar, I love that film.
I watched the MST3K version of it, and boy, oh boy, was it entertaining.
Yeah. Godzilla needs more grape juice.
Melissa, I don't want Danny to get into karate. I like him where he is. He's cool, and he's lost weight. Good for him. Did you notice the son in Cobra Kai lost weight in the later season?
No, actually, I didn't.
Yeah,
because
he slimmed down.
he really wasn't anything but like he really didn't do much.
No, he didn't. But like he was
Yeah,
chubby in the first two seasons, but then
I'll have
I
to go
think
back and check that.
yeah, I think it's season three he slimmed completely down. I was like, whoa, drastic change there, buddy. And of course, I heard that Aisha, the actress who played Aisha, has slimmed down too.
I said, oops. Yeah, it was a shame that she didn't return.
It would be Melissa, but I rather he wouldn't. I rather I rather they will have some father son moments, but not just karate.
Yeah.
I think Sam is a good choice to be the karate student. Not every kid has to have karate in them. We want to keep it realistic at some point, Melissa. Is what I'm saying. Because they do karate everywhere in this show.
Now, I'm sure Kong would not be happy. And
Oh yeah,
that water's not as deep as you would think either.
and he's coming from a hangover, mind you,
Yeah, he's
from all
awake
that
now.
drinking.
I'm sure that Duncan helped him out. So Proctor talking about the miniatures are convincing.
It was a progress
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean, like I said, somebody just learned to accept that they look like little radio controlled cars or tanks or little rockets on strings, or I mean jets on strings.
Hmm. It's one thing I give miniatures all the best, especially when you do your darnest to make them look as realistic as possible. Because you could easily mess that up with especially with the jets.
Yeah,
Like they'll just be flopping around like your garden variety hanging miniature in your room.
yeah. Well, it's like if you watch the original Star Trek, the Doomsday Machine
Yeah.
with the constellation, like before the new redone effects. It was basically a store model that they did. They like burned in a few places, switched the number around, made a constellation. It was just so bad. It just looked so bad going into the mouth. It was so funny. The nacelles were crooked.
I wouldn't be taking pictures right now. I'd be running for my life.
Getting audio. I like those little extra long arms too. It's like, okay, I got to remember to beat my chest because I'm beating him with something like a foot out on him. He's like, wait a minute, I can't do that. Don't do it, Kong. Godzilla's got the high ground.
You underestimate my power. Don't try it. Get your butt down here.
And see, realistically, this is where Godzilla has an advantage. He's
Hmm.
got that. He's got that freaking atomic breath.
Have you watched any Dragon Ball before?
I watched when it first started, and it took Goku like 5 episodes to finally get to Earth, and I couldn't stand the pacing of it.
That was filler episodes. You could have skipped through that.
I could not watch. It was like the first stuff. I just could. I mean, I know a lot of people were like it. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah. where I'm going with this is that this kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball Super Broly, a movie I own on Blu-ray.
Oh,
And there's a scene where I'm sure you don't know who Broly is, but it reminds me of Broly's fight against Vegeta. But less than impressive. Just the
yeah.
fact that he there's a test of power, and you can see the escalation there within it. So that escalation pretty much happened. Only difference is Khan's like, well, I don't know what to do with this. Let me just walk on off.
Yeah.
I don't even know
He's
why I'm
like,
here.
yeah, he's like, I don't need this. I was drinking. I was sitting on my island. I was fighting an octopus. Now I'm sitting here with this big lizard's trying to burn me to death. You should just left me where I was. Grab a couple pretzels here. Forgive my chewing.
I got strawberries.
Ooh, nice.
The wife just handed it to me off screen.
Very nice.
Oh man, if I could show my face right now, my face is like Han from Enter the Dragon. When the girl approaches him with the grapes, and he has this quick smile about him, like it kind of like humanized him a bit in that one scene particularly. And that was like my smile right there. Like the more she hands it to me, I just gives that one Han smile. I was like, oh wow, I just became the villain from Enter the Dragon in that split second. Of course, I thanked her and gave her a kiss.
Aw. How long have you been married?
Uh, Going on 10 years.
Oh, cool. That's amazing how big of a job that is, and they were able to do it that quick.
Oh yeah. Senator Proctor mentions Thomas the Tank Engine, or Shine Time Station as we used to watch it way back when, the original title. I don't know why he kept calling it Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm pretty sure. I guess that's the original title, but for me, it's always Shining Time Station.
I can remember when I was convalescing after one of my surgeries,
Right.
and I was home, and I just was like kind of out of it a little bit, and I turned on Blues Clues, and I sat there and watched like 3 episodes in a row of Blues Clues, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I was like, what the heck have they got me on right now?
I love Blue's Clues when I was young. I think I was still going to I think I was like almost going into middle school when I discovered Blue's Clues with Lil Bear, Franklin, Lil Bill. Ah, those were the nights were
Got him. And Godzilla sitting there. It's like I'm gonna burn some people when I get out of this pit.
That's
Get my
good,
little
Melissa.
lemonade washing everything now.
Oh, nice. Sam Proctor says timber,
Timber.
like in Looney Tunes. Timber. I'm so not excited for that Space Jam sequel.
The what sequel?
Space Jam.
Oh, Space Jam. Yeah. No Pepe Le
I,
Pew. I don't care anymore.
Even when they first announced that they were going to do it, I was like, nope, I'm not watching it. Too little, too late. Should have done it back in the 90s.
Yes, let's give LeBron James even more money.
More money than he deserves, which to me, he don't really deserve that money considering what
Quite,
he's been saying.
quite frankly, most athletes don't deserve the amount of money they get.
I if if there's a career-ending wish that I wanted to make, it's him. I wish his career would just die. He's overprivileged. Just saying. And I don't even
Yeah.
follow sports that much. I'm not even a sports fan, and I just see the evil. I'm not trying to say it to be arrogant, but I just sometimes see the evil in some people, or at least the deceit.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying he's evil per se. Just he's just a lapdog to me at this point.
Yeah, but that's like, and I know it's covetous, but it's like he makes more money in one game than I would have access to the rest of my life, and it's just sometimes just sickening to me.
Yeah, just hearing that bile come out of his mouth, I'm like, excuse me, sir, go live in your palace and stay comfortable. He's like Peter from Mockingjay Part One, where he's like on that screen just telling everybody to stop rebelling,
Oh
stop
yeah.
protesting. That's what whenever time I see celebrities do that, I'm reminded of that scene with Peter. Even though Peter was in the case of Peter, he was under drugs and and brainwashing.
Hmm.
So he has an out. But these guys don't have no control or brainwash no drugs or brainwashing. So yeah.
I will say, Godzilla with these high electric wires, it didn't work in the first film.
And yeah, he's afraid of it. He's very averse to them for some reason.
No, but Godzilla went right through the other ones. In the first film, he just burned them down. But of course, this is a different Godzilla, so he may be a little more adverse to it.
Or maybe new to it.
I like how it just comes running through.
Yep. Just pop in. Just I'm here now. Again, I don't know what everybody complained about the 2014 Godzilla, where there's very little Godzilla and it's focused too much on humans. Where when you really get right back down to it, all of the movies focused on the humans.
Yeah, there's a lot of human stuff.
If you really break it down and like remove all the monster scenes and put all the humans, you get a lot of content with the humans.
Yeah,
Even in Godzilla. Go
I
ahead.
was saying Samuel Proctor's nailed it for me. He's like, I like the way Godzilla's jaw drops. I like that too. And he's got like a bigger bottom jaw in this. They
Hmm.
eventually, like after a few more films, they kind of squish his face and give him those big doe eyes,
Yep.
which is cool. I mean, it's fine. I like Godzilla in all his forms, but that's when he's like kind of a good guy.
If I had to pick a design from the Heisei era, it would definitely be the one from King Ghidorah with the cat ears. I like to call them cat ears, Godzilla,
Oh yeah.
and the rows of teeth behind like shark teeth. But always Millennium Era is my favorite.
Yeah, my favorite's always going to be 54 OG Gojira.
I just might watch King of the Monsters tonight. The new
Two,
one.
2004. Oh, the last one. Yeah,
Yep.
that was an awesome film. I don't know why people had such issues with it.
Where I think it's getting to a point where I'm under the belief that the kaiju fandom is an unpleasable fandom at this point. Because they complain about there being not enough Godzilla in the 14 movie. Then they complain about there's too much of Godzilla in King of the Monsters. And I'm just like, what do you guys really want?
I'm sorry, there is no such thing as too much Godzilla.
Exactly. I'm just like, what do you guys really want? Because I liked 14 Godzilla, and I like King of the Monsters. I guess I'm easy to please then when it comes to kaiju.
I still like to see Pacific Rim meets Godzilla.
I kind of averse to that. I don't know if that would work.
It'd have to,
Oh,
yeah, it would have to be done just right.
yeah.
They would have to be kind of an overhaul of the Pacific Rim universe. Like it would have to be like the modern what's going on, and then with the emergence of the other dimensional kaiju comes through, and then like have to have Godzilla and Kong and
Oh,
whoever
oh.
else may be there kind of get involved. Put me down. Well, you put that down.
Yeah, screw everybody else. This woman's hot. Sam Porter says it's not just that the new American Godzilla movies have less screen time, it's also that when we finally see the monster fights, it's very dark and hard to see. That
That
was the theater's problem on
yeah.
that aspect. I think
I had an issue
releases.
in 2014 Godzilla. It could have been a little lighter, and same thing with Pacific Rim. I thought they were always fighting at night. I would like to have seen more daytime, a little more light. Now I haven't seen Pacific Rim 2,
You're
which
better off
I've
with.
heard is yeah, I've got to watch it eventually one day, but
My main criticism was the Jaegers were doing things that I would say realistically would not be done if you really want to get your job done on kaiju hunting. There were some moves that they were pulling off. I'm like, no, you wouldn't want to. You like that. That's a move that you would want to avoid because
you
Jaegers
got
are
to
hard to get back up if they get knocked down.
yeah, you got to treat it as a big gigantic heavy piece of metal.
hmm That's like driving a work construction vehicle off a hill like a dune buggy. You wouldn't do that.
See, I would if I
Like
were to do,
your fun
I
side would want to do that, but your smart brain would say you wouldn't want to do that.
see. I would actually like instead of a Jaeger, I would have something. Have you ever heard of a game called Ogre?
Oh no, I haven't.
There's a tank called an
Oh,
ogre, and it's like this giant. And the point of the game is the tank versus an army, and the tank you basically have to make it across the board. The army has, or if you play in the army, you have to survive, or disable
hmm.
the tank, or disable the tank. But the ogres is like gigantic monster tank, and I'm thinking that would probably be more effective against the kaiju.
Is it? Oh, it's a looks like a real time strategy game, or at least a tabletop.
It's tabletop, or at least it was when I was in school. It was a tabletop game.
Yeah, I just looking up. I'm looking up images
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. But you see what I mean? It's like a big giant
Yeah.
tank. Like it's like solid, wide base. It's not going
As
to be
far
easily
as
turned
like
over.
heavy mech or heavy tank games I played, Front Mission was one of them on the Super Nintendo. I had an emulator system.
Now I like how he's standing on top of that thing like it's supposed to be like the Empire State Building top.
Yeah.
Can't be that high because at least the perspective is.
Mm. You just know that in the Japanese version, nobody is not saying anything, but that's just American dubbing as a
Yeah,
whole. Just have to add some words in where they shouldn't be. I'm pretty sure the visual can communicate that they're busy trying to get things ready. See, I love Chinese cinema when you put the dubbing in. That
yeah.
is hilarious.
Yummy, yummy.
They just blink out of existence. You only see them firing off the cannon.
Yeah.
It's a nice effect, but it's funny to watch.
I
Because I'm
love
pretty
the
sure.
f- I love
Go
the
ahead.
face. I love the face of King Kong when they do the close up. Like not when
Yeah.
he's like running around, but right there. Oh, Zabo yay.
And they did they just repeat stock footage.
Yeah.
Asian Winner has an excellent question. He says, "Which version of King Kong vs Godzilla will be better?"
Um. Really not. I mean, you would probably do the original if you had that. If you could only do one, I'm doing the American version because it was accessible. It's already dubbed in English, and it's what I grew up with. It's what we grew up with. This was
I'm
the
a
they
weeb.
they didn't really release the Japanese version until like the late '90s or something in
Hmm.
America.
I think I got the Japanese version too on DVD. At least I
Yeah, it's
got
like
both
it,
versions.
yeah, it's both versions. I think that were together. Squish.
it's a catchy song.
Tell us a little doll he's holding.
Yep. Yep. Now she's a main character, if I recall, or just some
Yeah,
random girl that they gotta save.
I think she's the girlfriend of the guy playing the drum, or this guy. I forget.
Terrible.
Yeah,
What you call that?
blue green screen kind of effect,
Yeah.
rotoscope or whatever they did it.
Yeah. There's a word for it. I just can't remember it right now. Fumiko. Are you alright, Fumiko? Fumiko. Melissa Harris. Family drama should be relegated to other talks, not on streams. She's been talking about her son's Kimmy situation for a while. We love having you here, Melissa. Just keep your commenting towards the movies at hand.
Oh, I see. I wouldn't even. Ooh, let's keep it a little bit lighter and fun. I know. Let's get a bunch of helicopters and string them up. Oh, that's right, balloons. That's what it was. Yeah. Little known, it inspired the film Up.
Hmm.
Something is right. Have you watched Falcon, the Winter Soldier show?
You mean replacement Negro and other white guy?
Yeah,
Nah.
they they
Me and
introduced
Leia.
they introduced John Walker,
Uh.
U.S. agent, but as the new Captain America. And
Oh no.
when they introduced him, like at the end of the first episode, they had the shot. It was a poor angle or something, but Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son, is playing him and looks
Uh.
fine without the helmet. When he put the helmet on, it does something to his face. It makes him look like the old man from Up.
Now they really.
Yeah, look at that
Yeah.
blue. Everybody's blue.
Oh boy, they should hire the Americans to do that. Just saying, it would look less terrible.
Well, gotta forgive them. Just want to remind us, like, I just wanted to. So, who would you put your money on, King Kong or Godzilla? Age of Boomers asking Melissa.
Yeah. Well, you already heard the
Well,
beginning
real
of the stream.
yeah, I mean, you would have to go. I mean, Atomic Breath is just that's the wild card. You just like keep hitting Kong until he couldn't take it. You just
The
fry
thing
him
is,
up.
they have multiple opportunities to do anything with Kong, as far as like giving him any kind of monster powers. They just
Yeah,
don't do it.
yeah, and he don't need it. Well, in this they kind of do a weird electrical thing, like
Yeah,
electricity feeds off electricity, which it's kind of weird. But um,
I like that aspect. Like, at least give him something.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to see the underdog take him on with just brute strength alone. But I'm like,
but he's Bruce Wayne. Well, they do. I mean, the new film they do give him an axe.
yeah, I'm kind of opposed to that. I was hoping they were going to give him the electric powers because it's just my criteria for giant monsters in this caliber. Like every giant monster needs to at least have superpower, be a ray beam or electric gas or something.
Well, I'm sure Kong's gas would be pretty powerful. Man, that's the one thing you don't think about. Like coming across like if you're like behind Kong and something happens like that would be nasty.
Hmm.
I like that because they mentioned Pacific Rim how kaiju crap like is great fertilizer.
And their blood is radioactive,
Yeah.
so that's the reason why there's so few places to be safe now because their blood irradiates the land. It's like whenever time a kaiju dies and they melt off, it basically becomes Chernobyl in that area. That's a bit of lore there for you guys.
Mount
And
Fuji.
speaking of Pacific Rim, there's an anime to Pacific Rim out on Netflix called Pacific
Yeah,
Rim the Black.
but the black, yeah.
5 out of 10 for my review. It has potential. It just needs more.
It's like,
It's only
wait a
like
minute,
7 episodes.
I've seen
Hey,
this
hey,
guy
get me down
before.
here.
What the hell? The guy's gonna fry me sitting up here like this.
Melissa, the Uzuru don't have healing factors. You can actually still receive wounds in the Uzuru form. They showed in Bardock Father of Goku, one of the Saiyans that was once a Uzuru took a blast to his cheek. He still got the scar on his face even after he transformed back.
And John Shelton talk about putting the tree down Godzilla's mouth and the real octopus. Yeah, they haven't done the tree yet. See, that Godzilla has I mean, Kong has the high ground.
Yeah, they do a lot of things with the kaiju in Pacific Rim. They even turned them into statues or monuments or museums at one point in the film. They even they even get the lights from them used as certain things, as Ron Perlman pointed out in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a double-edged sword in that front. You don't want to be anywhere near the corpse, but you do want to harvest it.
I love the tail thing.
Watch it. Watch it.
Wait a minute.
Watch it. Psych!
Tail foo.
Bro, I just want to see if it detaches. Look on my tail, fool. That weird clap he's doing.
Oh.
That only tickled. You got more?
Swing.
Back at you, bud. Yeah, back at you too. I still got this.
He broke my eyebrows off.
Mess with the
Josh,
fro, you gotta go.
yeah, Josh Allen. Yeah, I do like the drop kick he gives them. They do in Godzilla versus Megalon.
No, he's talking about the stop motion drop kick that's gonna happen in the movie.
Oh yeah.
That kangaroo kick he does.
Oh yeah.
I throw a rock at him. It was a big rock. Simon Proctor quoting Killer Croc from Batman the Animated Series. I think that drop kick is in the Japanese version. I'm not sure. It is a long fight, so we might see it.
Oh yeah, it was a small rock, but thrown with much disgust. What the hell was that? I mean, he just kind of like flipped right into the rock and knocked himself out.
Well, you can always see where you're rolling at half the time. You tuck and roll. I'm just trying to bury him. Well, are you gonna get up? I'm still ready.
It's like, come on, man, you got top billing in this movie. Get up.
Let's give him their money's worth. He's just kicking rocks like a dog.
Yeah, I know.
Get up. Hey, he's playing possum.
Oh, that was that little stop motion.
There we go. We saw it. Yep.
Yeah.
Age. We all both agreed that Godzilla's Revenge was the worst. The one with the kid.
Yeah, Godzilla's Revenge. Which is basically his revenge on all of us at the movie theater.
Fun fact: that movie was meant to be a more serious movie or serious take on a family in decline with each other.
Yeah.
The kid's like going into this imaginary world because his his mom and dad are too busy working. And there's a scene where the mother is breaking down crying because she can't spend time with them. But they end up trying. But the producers wanted it to be a friendly film, a family picture.
Same Park's like, this is my second movie experience of both franchises.
Yeah, I saw that. I have the power.
Shocking.
Age Warner says, I remember that movie. Isn't the boy a latchkey kid?
Yeah,
The
pretty
heck's a
much.
latchkey kid?
He just comes and goes.
Oh, is that what latchkey kid means?
Well, like he goes, I think they go home and the house is empty. He just goes inside, does what he needs to do, kind of thing.
Shazam! Funny enough, last night I watched Superman Batman Public Enemies. Still love that animation.
Yeah, that's a good film. Eat
Kevin
this.
Conroy, Tim Daly at their best. Yep.
I love that. He's shoving the tree down his throat.
Yep. Surprised the suit didn't catch fire. It got singed, but it didn't catch fire.
That flip there.
Yeah.
He was actually in that suit when he flipped him.
Yep.
I was reading about that because a lot of people thought he just flipped an empty suit. It's like, no, Nakajima was in that sucker when he flipped him, and the guy did it on purpose because he knows judo. The guy
That's acting, children.
The guy playing Kong is like a master of judo and strong as hell.
despite wearing a suit. Apparently,
Yep.
that's some commitment there. Dual barrel. Now they're just puppets, just waving at each other. Oh boy, love this movie, warts and all.
Oh yeah. I mean, all the Godzilla films have war of some kind, but
What did you
oh, flip. That was a good shot.
trip team?
You be tripping.
Mapachai gives us some info about the latchkey case. She says a latchkey kid is a kid who carried their house key on a string around their neck so they could get in the house after
Right.
school since the parents weren't home. That was me back in the days,
Yeah.
actually. Me and my brother, we would walk home from school by ourselves, and I would have the key to get in the house because
Yeah.
I'm the eldest.
Let's not worry about going around the building. Let's just rip the building apart to get at each other. Let's do this the hard way.
That's a trope in the Toho films. Pagoda's always getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Like in Godzilla versus Mothra, he trips on a pagoda, just straight destroys it. And that's how we end it.
And water just never looks right on miniature.
Nope. Not even Superman.
I know. Or Lord of the Rings either. Tsunami.
Oh well, we can't show this because this will bring back the tsunami attack in Japan. No, I'm pretty sure they're comfortable revisiting these things because they're not as sensitive as us puny Americans.
I know. It must be a heck of a fight going on out there because it's ripping the entire tectonic plates apart.
Yeah. There's bubbles, so somebody's leaving.
And who comes out?
Kong.
Swimming back home.
You know, in retrospect, this all happened because the Americans screwed up and the Japanese screwed up. So I guess it's both their faults. When you really think about it, it's the Americans that released Godzilla onto the world, and then it was the Japanese that brought Kong into this. And they did more harm than good with this type of idea, didn't they?
I get wishing Kong a good journey home. English version produced by John Beck. The end.
I still call it a draw, Melissa. Even if
Yeah,
Kong.
yeah, because Godzilla can go underwater with no problem. He's all right. He wasn't that. They weren't that beat up. There's still a lot of. They were going to do a sequel, but it just never. But it just never happened. It would have been neat to have them meet again.
I like to think that they had this conversation. Hey, so you know, I'm just touring through your neck of the woods. They just brought me here. I just want to go home. And Godzilla's like, yeah, this is kind of stupid. Let's just call it a draw. See you later, man. hey, sample me that drug juice when you get home.
I like Samuel
All right.
Proctor. Kong versus Godzilla Electric Boogaloo. That's funny. Oh,
They just had this
man.
little exchange between each other underwater. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just swim on and just go home.
Yeah, it's like they totally leave it up in the air. It's like, but Godzilla lives underwater. He's fine. But
It's not like he just took the guy and drowned him.
yeah, he's not going to. You're not going to drown. I mean, the most I was. You could say that Godzilla was buried under all kinds of rock and stuff, and has now had to go into hibernation. And he'll be released when something else bumps into him. Something else happens. There's another earthquake, and then boom, he's loose again.
So
But
still saw a film. I mean,
so
it's
yeah,
a, it's a it's saw enough film to poke fun at too.
yeah, it's just a fun. It's just a lot of fun. It's one of those films they always showed like on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning or something when I was growing up, and it takes me back, to
I remember
because
catching a glimpse of it one time on commercial, and got apparently Kong and my child brain looked a lot different
yeah,
in
I
that
mean,
scene.
yeah, just you if you watch something and you have it in your mind and you haven't seen it in a long time, you go back and watch it again, you're like, what the hell was I thinking? But like I said, that childlike wonder, But
Mhm.
I still dig this stuff. I mean, like you know, no matter how bad the effects are, or of course they look like little toy cars and tanks and stuff like that. It's a Godzilla film, and like I said, it was the third Godzilla film. It was the third Kong film, and
Did
the
you
first
ever
one in color.
did you ever watch any of the Millennium Gamera films or the Heisei Gamera films?
I've seen scenes. I've never been able to get a hold of them.
Definitely check out Guardian of the Universe.
They look freaking awesome. I know there's like the Gamera trilogy is supposed to basically set the standard for what a kaiju film should be,
Or at
from what
least
I
what the
understand.
Godzilla film should have aspired to during the
Yeah,
Millennium era.
yeah. The
Like,
Gamera is just he looks so badass in those films, and but then they do Gamera the Brave, where they kind of like kidify him a little bit. I
hmm
mean, not a little bit, a lot. And although what was it Zyrus
Xerus, I think
Zerus
it's called.
Zetus or something like that? Whatever the monster. That's a pretty nasty looking creature he's fighting in that.
hmm
Yeah, I mean Gamera the Brave. But yeah, I've always liked Gamera. I've always been a big Gamera fan. I'm Team
Legion had the
Gamera.
best design though, but I love Gauss.
Yeah, they're all good. Like
Oh
there's
my goodness. Yeah,
there's
definitely do. I will say this: definitely do not eat in front of Guardian of the Universe because Gauss is disgusting in that movie.
yeah
Like, really. Go ahead.
are you talking about the newer one?
hmm
Yeah, well, remember the old one where they go into space and the two kids get on the spaceship
Yeah.
and the camera goes to the other planet and I forget their names, but um there's a guy, I think there's a Gaius
hmm
that's there, but then there's like the other one with the knife head,
Mm.
and they fight.
Um,
And he just like starts
Baron.
chopping. Yeah, and he just
I think you're
starts.
talking about Baron.
Yeah, and he starts just chopping pieces off of him.
Yeah, it turns up to sushi
It's
basically,
like shoom shoom shoom. It's like, oh
and
my
he laughs
god.
while he does it. He's a sadist.
I know he was
Like,
enjoying it. We're just
oh my,
chopping up the other
I love
guy.
that man.
That's
It
fun.
was a, that was a repurposed Gauss. Actually, they spray painted it silver.
Yeah, they spray painted silver. He was like space gals or something they called it or
Yeah,
something.
and they just chopped them to pieces.
But yeah, that was just sheer brutality. But yeah, that scene is on YouTube. It's funny as hell.
Especially the
But
Gamera doing gymnastics.
okay, I love it. Oh, they did some fantastic things in those Gamera films.
They
But
just didn't know what to do with the guy.
I know it was so awesome. So Wolfie, what's on tap this week for you?
Oh, we're tackling the Wolverine films on Tuesday, and Samuel E. Olaki is coming back with his friend to talk about Robert E. Howard and H.P. Lovecraft again.
Oh, cool.
And the
And
Tuesday after
that will
next,
be
I
on
believe we can
like
I
the
do believe next
Robert Howard the Robert Howard Lovecraft one's on Thursday, right?
yeah,
You start at
and next
three in the afternoon, right? Eastern,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
2:30 Eastern. Okay.
Yeah. The Tuesday after next, I think we're gonna continue our last Thursday's discussion.
Oh, the
I think I read it with Trooper FN 2525 that will be willing to continue it next Tuesday after next.
and that's male characters.
No, it's representation. Is it representation that you're seeking mostly, or is it identity validation?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you do some deep topics on there. I got to give you guys credit.
Yes, most. I think those are the ones that get the most attention because, like, we do the fun stuff too. So we're not always
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
serious bunch. Yeah, we do talk about go on tangents about SJW stuff, but like we do try to. I do try to steer WCR about talk about good stuff too at the same time. We don't always have
yeah.
to be
Right.
negative.
And of course, those who don't know what WCR is, that's Wolf Commander Rambles.
Yep.
And
Or at least I should retitle it now
Tuesdays,
since I got the UN Spacey crew with me.
the RDF, the
Yeah.
WDF, the Wolf's Defense Force, Wolfie's Defense Force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, definitely tune in to Wolf Commander Rambles Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, 2:30 Eastern, as you said.
Yep.
As for the next Saturday, if all goes according to plan, Netter's Network, we will be watching About Last Night. I think that's what it's called, with Rob Lowe and Demi Moore.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, about we're gonna be watching that next week. And 2 weeks from tonight, let you guys know it's going to be April, and Big Al Presents is going to be presenting April Foolishness. We got I got two comedy films, and the first one in 2 weeks will be Weird Al Yankovic's UHF. Great crazy film, and currently scheduled to join us are Agent Boomer and Daniel Heron, the Birdman from Soundtracks of the Birdman.
Nice.
And like I said, if you want to check out their rewatches on Wednesday nights, 8:30 Eastern on Soundtracks with Birdman, they have some great rewatches, looking into the score and also what's going on in the film. It's a great time. I've been honored to join them a couple times. 3 times actually, and had a great time. They're great guys to listen to. I think they did Captain America last week, and
Yeah, they did.
I don't know what they're doing this. If Agent Boomer's here, what you guys doing this Wednesday? Are you doing Winter Soldier?
I think they are.
Yeah, I was wondering. Just yeah, stay tuned for what's going on in Soundtracks with Birdman. They're good.
Of course, we have Green Line Girls, Final Fantasy remake streams.
Yeah, Green Lion Girl. Also, don't forget tomorrow night. Hopefully, the Geeky Geezers will go on as scheduled with whatever the geeky news may be going through. Hopefully, Troy will be okay with that. Yes, Agent Boomer is confirming they are doing Winter Soldier.
Well, Troy has the best medic in his house, so I'm sure
that's right. For those who weren't here earlier and didn't know, Troy was not feeling well, and that's taking care of him. That is why they did not join us tonight. Thankfully, I had invited
another kaiju fan
along, who probably knows more than I do. Definitely more about the modern stuff. But
I eat, sleep, breathe this kaiju stuff.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked to be on, and I'm so glad I said yes. But I'm easy that way.
Did you know that Korea had their own kaiju film?
Yes, Pulgasari.
Yeah, I heard the history about that very dark
stuff.
Oh
yeah, I've heard that too. I've seen some of the scenes from it. It's actually pretty kind of cool looking, but
I don't even want to watch it considering I know the history behind it.
Yeah,
I was like, I want to watch it, but I'm like,
yeah, it's kind of suspect, very political stuff, but kind of Samuel Proctor is going, a Weird Al movie? Yep, Weird Al made a movie called UHF. It's kind of a parody of. He basically takes over a UHF station, like channel 60 something. I forget exactly what the channel is, but and then he has such weird programming, it becomes a hit. and that's kind of the thing. And it's a lot of fun.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Conan the Librarian.
Gohan, you're so stupid. That's the only thing I remember from that movie.
Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers. No, there's all kinds of weird stuff in that film. It's great. It's great. So looking
Oh
forward to
yeah.
that. Of course, Monday night. Check out Sound Engraver about 9:30.
Monday.
Tuesday, of course, 9 o'clock. The professor and I will be going over the final chapters of Silver Chair. Finished them today.
I'm so sorry I've not
Very
been
cool.
able to be around those lately. I've been to other commitments like for Matchstick. He has this new string called Culture Fortress. I've been a part of that too, along with Troy
Oh, well,
and H Boomer.
that's no problem. That's up to you guys.
I've been quite the busy person since the
Yeah,
lockdown.
yeah. Like I said, that's Tuesday 9 o'clock on the Catholic Bible Geek channel. Uh, for the last chapters of Silver Chair. Thursday at 9 o'clock, we're doing the next few chapters. I think up to chapter 30 in Red Harvest, which is really dark and really good. I'm really enjoying that book.
So
And
I've heard.
next Friday, not quite sure what's happening yet. We're kind of talking. There may be cause it's Good Friday, and if we do something, might be later, or the professor may do something. Not quite sure yet. And then, of course,
Yeah.
Saturday with About Last Night. So that is the week in review. Once again, Wolfie, thank you for joining me. It's been
You're
an
welcome,
absolute
Al.
pleasure. Like I said, and again, Troy, please feel better. Netter, take good care of him. Make sure nothing bad happens, and hopefully we'll be back in. He'll be back in action sooner than later. I want to
Well,
wish everyone. What?
I'm the ever so optimist. He's got a Swiss Army wife backing him up.
The Swiss Army wife, Victoria Netter. I don't know if you know Victorinox, but uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Like I said, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. One of these days we're gonna get more content out. I'm just like I said, looking for a new place and new computer. My computer almost died this week. It was scary. Uh,
Yikes.
yeah, I had to do I think it was a bad update. I had to go back to the midnight
Papa
before.
Chase also mentioning out Troy's
Uh-oh.
Friday streams.
Oh, Troy. Yeah, Troy has a Friday stream. Does that have a name? Oh, it's Troy After
Uh,
Hours, isn't it? Or After Hours?
Friday night last call, and
Last
sometimes we
call.
do the
That's it.
fixing the DC universe, fixing the MonsterVerse. The MonsterVerse
Right.
don't need no fixing. The MonsterVerse is handling itself really
Yeah,
well, but
Monsterverse is fine.
fixing the Dark
Mon-
Universe and fixing the Marvel Universe,
how you fix the monster universe? You make more monster movies. That's how you fix it right now.
pretty much.
But they're talking. I think they're talking about the Universal monsters, the
Yeah,
quote unquote dark universe that was
but
thankfully
this Friday
that had
we're
a
gonna be
bullet put in
doing
its head.
DC again. Yeah, this
Doing
time we're gonna
DC
do
again.
DC again. We're gonna watch the pilot episode to Smallville.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Because I do know one of the next things we're going to be doing, me, the professor, and Fan Man, we want to watch Superman versus the Elite. So
Oh,
that's going to be the next thing we kind of do, as the Geek Stooges kind of do. Not sure where it's going to happen. It may end up being on the Professor's channel. Not quite sure yet, but we'll figure it out. But I hope everyone has a pleasant Sunday, and thank you for joining me for this crazy kaiju combat, as I like to say. Any final words, Wolfie, before we head on out?